Now moving across to lesson number 6. New borrowers get great deals. Now there's no better way to illustrate this than this particular chart here, which comes from the Reserve Bank of Australia. So let's have a look at this. This is effectively what we're talking about when it comes to new versus existing customers. It doesn't get any clearer. Outstanding loans versus those new loans. You can see that the rate that is being paid for new business, so that's the banks and lenders buying business versus the existing loans. And why is that? The reason for that is really clear. It's people coming off fixed rate loans. What I was telling you before, that the discounts that they may have got in that time, those discounts are slowly moving out of the competitive market, and competition is fierce, absolutely fierce. So let's go past the business rates and let's come down here and have a look at the rates table. This is the rates table that has been prepared by APRA and the RBA, and we can see here clearly. Here we go, owner-occupied, principal and interest. Who's getting the better deal? The outstanding loans versus the new loans. Interest only. Still, again, you're paying more for interest only. Investment loans, principal and interest only. Now, they're not also factoring in the loan to value ratio complexity that we just talked about, but you're starting to see a story here, and that is a pattern. And that's why this particular episode is so important, and I've got so much interest and passion in it, is because ultimately what we're talking about here is getting you a better deal. And there is no better time for you to start thinking about better deals than a prompting of your fixed rate loan rolling over to variable. That is a good time as any to potentially start to look at what you can do and do a review of your loan. So the big takeaway here for me is absolutely review. It's so important that you keep an eye on this in terms of helping you and your family save money, especially in these times. If you're not feeling confident enough to work through that complexity, can I give you a recommendation? That recommendation should be get a mortgage broker to be able to do that. And of course, remember, more is about achieving more with more. And that review is going to be really important for you. It's completely free to ask a mortgage broker to review your situation. They'll obviously need to see the full story to make sure that you're capable of refinancing or looking for that better deal. Because what is going to happen is, the first step is usually going back to your same lender and saying, hey, will you give me a cheaper rate? Now, their retention teams, their job is to try and hold that margin. Remember, banks are trying to make profit for their shareholders, and that margin that we saw in CBA, that story there, that makes it more difficult for them. So the first instinct is not necessarily give you the absolute best deal. But if a broker's doing it, they know exactly the last best deal they got from that lender, and they're expecting that lender to potentially give them the same time because they're willing to negotiate on your behalf. So it's really, really important that you look to review that, and there is no better time to make that revision and that review as part of what you're doing. So if we think about all the things we've been talking about, lesson 5, lesson 4, lesson 3, let's go through them in terms of what we've been talking about. It's really, really clear that these things matter. Okay, so let's bring this up into a larger size. Lenders do go on sale. So just because you think you got a good deal 2 or 3 years ago, you just saw that there might even be cheaper or bigger discounts out there. Fixed to variable, always the discount on the variable is never as high as what you can if you just go pure variable at the time of getting your pricing request. Discount ranges are misleading. We demonstrated that. Published rates are negotiable. Either you do it or you get someone to do it for you. Complexity is there. It is going to be a bit of overwhelm if you're not familiar with this. If this is not what you're doing every day, that is going to be real. And we just saw really clearly that new borrowers get better deals than old borrowers. So for me, coming back to the episode, what to do next, there's a couple of choices. Reach out to your bank, try and get the best opportunity from them, and then compare that to what is in the market. And if you can't do that, use a broker. And if you want to use one of our brokers, it's really simple to do that. You can click on the link that's attached to this video and you can potentially organise a free consultation with one of our brokers. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Because remember, time is your best investment. Your time is important. But this is money that you're leaving on the table. Coming back to what we're passionate about is don't leave that money on the table. That is what Moorr is here to do. You want to be able to achieve more with more. And we've been able to identify that there's potentially an opportunity here for you. So with that information, don't leave that money on the table. Make your money work harder for you. And if you need help from one of our professional advisors, we can do that for you. I hope you found this first episode in the series of interest to you. I'm looking forward to producing more of these in terms of saving money, making money, and those types of things as part of our beautiful Moorr community. So thanks again for watching. And remember, knowledge is empowering, but only if you act on it.